Anytime a beautiful 23-year-old woman in a movie is attracted to a mediocre man played by a comedian who wrote the script, I count it as a plot hole. What movie are you referencing? This guy looks like every single Spider-Man actor put together. Hey, you're right though. Serious question. When someone's telling you a sad story and crying, how long should I wait before I take a bite of my corn dog? Gender, F, M. Male, female, famale, fell male. High school visit on March 17th. Gender, international high school visit at Ho Chi Minh City at March 19th. I'm gonna go with famale. The most important thing I've learned in life, and I can't stress this enough, you gotta make a salad in a bigger bowl than you think. You gotta use bigger stuff in general, as it turns out. OMG, cute date idea. Go donate blood together and save 6 lives collectively, and then buy a 6-pack of wine coolers to share and get absolutely blackout for $8 due to disproportionate blood to alcohol level. Oh my god. Well, this is just proper fiscal responsibility. Imagine pulling a 14-hour shift at the Tesla factory, coming home, turning on the TV, and your boss is on the telly pretending to be an Italian cartoon character on trial for murder. And he's really bad at it. It's the year 2032. You're driving on the highway to work in your Apple car when you hear the news that the Apple Car 2 is coming out. Suddenly, the speed of your car goes from 95 to 25 miles per hour. Chaos ensues. A president makes a new law that anyone shorter than him gets executed, but he accidentally makes it an amendment to the Constitution so it applies to future presidents too. In the next elections, there's a frenzy of people voting for the shortest president so they don't die. And this is how they end up electing a 3-foot-tall man named Pinwheel Patrick, who goes on to become the most tyrannical dictator the world has ever seen. Pinwheel Patrick, that's badass. When you go to grab the last refreshing Capri Sun out of the fridge, but then your little sister, whose special needs I might add, appears behind you and says, "Oh, I want a Capri Sun too." So you give her the last one, but she says, "Wait, this isn't the last Capri Sun, is it?" And you know that if you tell her it is, she'll refuse it because she hates to see you go without, so you tell her a little white lie? No, there is another. Jeez. Never stop dating your wife. Pick her up in your 1997 Mercury Sable. Take her to TGI Fridays. Hold in a nervous fart during Wall-E. Never stop dating your wife. I want to date you. If someone you know is getting deeply into making bread from scratch, they are deeply depressed, I promise you. That's why I avoid bread makers every time I go to Goodwill. No thank you. Your blood relations are just your suggested pre-generated party members, but it's perfectly okay to ditch as many of them as you like and craft an entire party of lizard folk pyromancers instead. Or whatever suits you, honestly. No. I want to hear more about the lizard folk pyromancers and what they're all about. His face looks like he told a joke that no one laughed at and someone said it louder and everyone burst out laughing. That is an annoyed, betrayed expression, yes. I want Terry Crews and Vin Diesel to do a buddy cop movie where they're both secret nerds, but they don't want the other to know. Like, Vin Diesel plays D&D on weekends, and Terry likes to create epic crossover fan art. Somehow, they have to work undercover at Comic-Con, and for whatever reason, I need Daniel Radcliffe to be the villain. I'd like to add, not a character played by Daniel Radcliffe, Dan Radcliffe, appearing as himself. No, wait. I want Elijah Wood to play Daniel Radcliffe. Elijah Wood plays Daniel Radcliffe, and his evil sidekick is Elijah Wood, played by Daniel Radcliffe. Your Tinder date welcomes you into their bedroom. They excuse themselves and go to the restroom, leaving you alone on their bed. What's your next move? A. Lick their Himalayan salt lamp. B. Lick their Himalayan salt lamp. C. Lick their Himalayan salt lamp. D. All of the above. You know, I've never thought about doing it, but now I'm gonna think about nothing but, so thanks. The next Call of Duty should be a realistic RPG that starts with you working at Little Caesars and an army recruiter lies to you at the mall. I would buy it. We've all got a mate who randomly disappears on a night out, then returns 3 hours later with new friends they met in the smoking area. Cuts and bruises, a traffic cone, no phone, and a llama. Alright, the llama part does interest me a little bit, I won't lie. $10 million right now in your hand, but there's a catch. A snail is chasing you for the rest of your life, and if it touches you, you die a terrible death. This snail cannot be killed. It knows your location at all times. Its only purpose is to find you. You taking the money? $10 million? I have to live my life on the frickin' run? But wait a minute, the snail cannot be killed. I can trap it in a box. Just a 2-inch thick acrylic cube on all sides. No way out. Can't be killed, so oxygen's not I'm overthinking this. Give me the money. Bro, you remember being like 8, no phone, no MP3 player, completely unprepared, just showing up to school with a Lunchable like, it. Whatever happens to me today. Do you still say reading is one of your favorite activities or hobbies even though you actually haven't read in months, but you used to read like a book a day when you were younger, so much so that it became a personality trait, and now you for some reason cannot for the life of you make yourself read, but you're still emotionally attached to that part of you and hope by speaking it into existence, you'll someday rediscover that happy version of your normal self? Or are you normal? Oh, that's me, but with video games, unfortunately. There's only one good absurd threat that's ever been posted on Twitter.com, but it is, as the kids say, a real doozy. Disrespect me again and I'll determine your body's resonant frequency and play a jaunty horn solo that boils your miserable organs inside out. Alright, call center, except for Panama. Call 1-800-SAMSUNG. Wait, why not Panama? I hate when dates are just talk about boring work stuff like passwords and guard rotations at the research facility you work at. Yeah, me too. You've reached peak cooking when a 105-year-old Japanese third-generation owner of a ramen stand calls your ramen okay. Yeah, that's pretty high frickin' praise. Our boss just banned overly specific nicknames, and the whole office is staring at Rat Snitch Brian the Good Time Ruiner. You Rat Snitch Brian the Good Time Ruiner. Ooh, let's see what this is about. Wanted rematch. Hi, I'm Michael, and in 1985, I finished second in the under 6 egg and spoon race at my school sports day. If you were the winner of that race, meet me here at 11:42 a.m. on Thursday, and we're gonna race again. I don't recall your name, but if I remember rightly, you are fast and the height of a child. I'm much faster now than I was then, so it should be a good race. I'll bring an egg for you to use, but you'll have to bring your own spoon because most of mine are in the dishwasher and I've not been able to open it since February. I can switch it on and off, but I can't open the door. Maybe the latch is broken? Does that happen? I'll call a plumber soon. Michael. Dear residents, due to the recent actions of a specific tenant, we've been forced to update our community rules. Please find these new rules below. No trash bags placed outside your door. No loud music after 10 p.m. No yodeling at any time. Do not feed the squirrels nachos. Do not change the sign for the fitness center so it reads Fatness Center. Do not pull out Yu-Gi-Oh cards and threaten to send residents to the Shadow Realm. Do not climb other people's balconies while drunkenly yelling, I am Spider-Man. No zip lines. Do not place rent checks in a bear trap outside the rental office. Do not make rent checks out to you greedy motherfuckers. Do not yell at the moon. Do not enter the laundry room in a luchador mask and attempt to wrestle other residents. No trick-or-treating unless you are a kid and it is Halloween. Do not yell, order up, and throw hot dogs at people as they walk past your window. And do not attach basketball hoops above resident doors, knock, and then dunk on them when they answer. Moving forward, failure to abide by these rules will be grounds for eviction. Thank you so much. Commercial break, husband, silent. Fight scene, husband, completely and utterly silent. Quiet dialogue scene. So let me tell you about the history of rockets. Oh God, what are we looking at here? Okay, let me break it down for the people who haven't had a chicken sandwich from either Chick-fil-A or Popeyes. Chick-fil-A's sandwich tastes like it was cooked by a white woman named Sarah who grew up around black people. The flavor's there, but Sarah cares about your cholesterol, so she's careful about the breading and grease content. Popeye's sandwich tastes like it was cooked by an older black lady named Lucille that serves on the usher board and has 12 grandkids that call her Medea. Medea don't give a about your cholesterol because God's in control. I hope this helps. You just gotta decide in the moment, which one are you going for? It's always Popeyes, don't at me. Me holding a gun to a mushroom? Tell me the name of God, you fungal piece of shit. Mushroom, can you feel your heart burning? Can you feel the struggle within? The fear within me is beyond anything your soul can make. You cannot kill me in a way that matters. Me cocking the gun, tears streaming down my face. I'm not scared of you. Hey OP, what the does this mean? Decay exists as an extant form of life. That's a terrifying answer. You have a lovely day. Shape-shifting is the best superpower because you can have any haircut at any time. You can turn into a hotter version of yourself. You can turn into a dragon. You can turn into a robot. You can turn into a shambling mound of abstract shapes and sulk outside your estranged father's house at night while chanting ominously about his sins. This took a weird turn, but hey, I'm still on board, as we all should be. Me? Hello, I would like some spinach. Just a normal amount for a normal person. Grocery store? Yeah, right. Bet you love spinach, you little spinach freak. Here's a brick of spinach, a literal bathtub full. You have 3 days to eat it all before it goes bad. Apple Music? Here's a song for you. Spotify? I've made 75 unique playlists based on your DNA and set to the beat you breathe in. I also wrote you a personalized love song about all the things I like about you. Please don't leave me. What would the kids and I do without you? Please stay. Maybe, Spotify, you should fix your stupid shuffle feature. Don't call yourself cool unless you were outcast all your life and still grew up to be developed and likable by all people, but still seclude yourself from groups because the earlier stages of your life really tainted your perspective of others and it stuck with you the whole time. Red-eyed tree frogs always look like they just remembered they were supposed to pick up their tadpole a half an hour ago. No, the one in the bottom right does. The other two are just chilling. If we don't get our together, there will never be a 42069, and that's bad. No, there will be one. You won't be there, though. How f***ed up would it be if you just jumped in a ball pit and it was tomatoes painted different colors? Ooh, DashCon would have been real interesting. The age of consent is like the number of rat hairs that you're legally allowed to put in a hot dog. If you have to look it up, you're doing something f***ed up and you should probably stop. How do you politely tell your visitor that it's time to go home? Well, if you're from the Midwest, you just say, well, real forcefully and slap your knees with your hands and then stand up. Other Midwesterners will recognize the single and say, suppose we should head out. Oh boy, soft rocks, huh? Can you imagine though? You send your enemies a rather large amount of these in various sizes. You leave no return address or explanation. They open all the boxes to discover these wondrous pillows. They're reluctant to keep them, but eventually they give in and integrate them into their home like the above picture. After a few weeks or even months, they become accustomed to having them in their home and routinely relax in a large pile of the odd pillows. Until one night, you just take every single one back and replace them with the actual rocks of the same dimensions so that when it's time for them to relax and unwind from their day, they fall into a pile of hard, unmoving boulders. They break their spine and are paralyzed. You have won. What the f*** is wrong with you? Get you someone who looks at you the way this woman looks at the guy who killed a mountain lion with his bare hands last week. Looks like his cougar problems are far from over. Do not play AC/DC on this jukebox. Your song will be skipped. No refunds. I hate AC/DC. Aaron Morse, owner. Do not play it. Please do not play it. Also, you can't play Nickelback, Hoobastank, Matchbox 20, Hinder, Buckcherry, Def Leppard, the song Wagon Wheel, or any other overplayed music. Thank you for your patronage and no AC/DC. Jeez. Countries whose current leader themselves at a McDonald's in 1997 versus countries whose current leader did not. I'd be willing to bet that most of these countries are lying. Why come they called him Beast in the castle when everyone knew his name because they'd been working for him forever anyway? Like, I would be just like, hey, Chewbacca Adam or some shit. There's no reason to call him Beast. I'd hide in my room all day too if my employees started making fun of me. If my manager decided to pull some rude ass shit with a witch and got me living the next 10 years of my life as an immortal singing toaster oven, you can bet your ass I'd wake him up every goddamn morning with a flaming panini directly to the face. Rise and shine, you ugly. Time to hear a song. I call this one Ode to an Inconsiderate Piss Baby, and the first 9 verses are just me screaming at various decibels. Is there anything more nauseating than expensive heterosexual wedding culture? My dream wedding, outside, illegal fireworks, shoes are optional, mostly potluck, someone's dressed as a wizard and I get to insult my relatives, hopefully some live music. You want to get married at Bilbo Baggins' 11th birthday? Who the hell wouldn't? That party was f***ing sick. You're really letting dudes in khaki shorts with a drug charge that play in bands that won't leave their hometown and describe 24 flavors of their favorite vape juice and cheat on you with underage girls while explaining in detail why you need to smoke more weed? Oh, that was hard to do. First day at Domino's, manager. Oh, and one more thing. Don't f*** pizzas. Me. Assistant manager. Seriously, don't f*** them. Cook. Don't f*** the pizzas, dude. I'm not. Customer. That guy's not gonna f*** my pizza, is he? Not if he wants to keep his job, he won't. what's going on? I want to make an infomercial where it's not clear what the guy's selling. Like, he's demonstrating how powerful this vacuum is by sucking up a bowling ball, but then he starts showing you how strong the bowling ball is by dropping it on some knives. And then he's showing you how the knives haven't been damaged at all by using them to cut through some shoes, and it goes on and on for 2 hours. Then it just loops back to the start while the number flashes on screen the whole time, and if you call it, it just echoes whatever you say back to you. Learn today that my ex-husband buys his weed from a lesbian dominatrix that banned him from DJing at her sex club because he kept playing his version of Lean On Me, made entirely of samples of Homer saying, "Dope!" Amazing. Every word in that sentence is better than the last. You got that right. What if you put your fingers in a girl's mouth to be sexy and she just makes a really loud whistle with them and calls a horse over? Well, that's awesome because now we have a horse. They're worth so much money. The Jewish-Japanese Sex and Cookbook and How to Raise Wolves by Jack Douglas. A lot covered in one book. Where have you been, Jack Douglas? What kind of things have you seen? I'd give up everything to become a small anthropomorphic woodland animal wearing Victorian clothes, living in a little house in a meadow, and my neighbor's a goose wearing a bonnet, and my only worry is that my apple pie will be ready when Mrs. Owl comes to visit me for tea time. Hey, how'd you get my Twitter drafts?
This cat's face contains emotions that I cannot begin to describe, but at the same time I have a deep understanding of. I'll attempt it. Holding in a deep sigh of vague anxiety and heartache as well as tiredness on a cosmic level, knowing that releasing it won't help. Every raccoon is either planning a heist or in the middle of a heist. Oh, look at it, it's Tom Nook and the boys renovating your house in the middle of the night. Mickey Rourke and Axl Rose look like a lesbian couple who own an antique shop in Portland. Oh my god. Just smile through the pain, boys. Smile through the pain. No turd wider than 2.5 inches or 6 inches long allowed. I don't think they're aware of the capability of the human body. Me right now. She looks like an old Ukrainian woman who lost her son Dmitry in the war and now sits by the side of a weary road less traveled selling potatoes for a very modest price. She can also casually lift 3 trees. They should not give cops horses. Give those horses to postal workers so I can sit out on my porch drinking iced tea, and then a guy rides up on a horse and says, "Hey pal, got a letter for you here." Honestly, that's by far the best take I've ever heard on this. It's also the only take, but still best take. As long as part of the job requirements is having long, gushing, flowing hair. I just want to make love in a haunted Victorian mansion during a lightning storm on a bearskin rug in front of a fireplace while the groundskeeper watches from inside the walls through a painting cut out eyes. Is that too much to ask? You know when you're rocking the no makeup look and you assume you're looking all beachy, natural, and cute, but then you look in the mirror and you look like a Victorian child sick with influenza who won't make it through the winter. Hey, there's a reason being called drop dead gorgeous is a positive thing. Mildly air-conditioned car. Just don't want you to get your hopes up, you know. Road work. Next 3 points. Once again, what's with the pie? I can't measure in pie. I eat that stuff. Honk if you ought to be watching the 1999 cinematic masterpiece The Mummy starring Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz. Right now, some deplorable with a persistent cough is driving a cruddy car on a crumbling roads past abandoned storefronts to a low-paying job and pumping his fist and going, "Hell yeah!" as he hears on the radio about how Biden's infrastructure bill is in danger of failing. Canceling plans is okay. Putting yourself first is okay. Going for a long walk is okay. Abandoning society is okay. Moving into a cave with a family of raccoons is okay. Giving them tiny swords and shields is okay. Do what you need to do to cope and overthrow society through raccoons. I'm just saying, Squirrel Girl has been able to defeat Dr. Doom, so just imagine what raccoons are capable of. Somewhere, right now, a girl is posting a selfie of her in a bubble bath, holding a glass of wine and captioning it, "Quarren Queen." And there is nothing we can do about it. Unnatural hair colors in a woman are a warning signal to stay away. It's an example of aposmatism, the phenomenon of poisonous animals in nature advertising their toxicity and lethality. Sorry, I apologize for giving this guy a somewhat intelligent-sounding voice. Aposmatism is there to warn off predators, not sexual partners. If you're repelled by it, it's working! Oh, you're an idiot! Meanwhile, in No Stupid Questions, if someone dies but their mind was downloaded into a Roomba and they could talk and drive around and was pretty much the same person just in a Roomba, would it be illegal to destroy the Roomba? Would it be morally wrong to destroy the Roomba? Would it be murder to destroy the Roomba? Alright, Black Mirror writers, get on it. Me has the happiest, most enchanting experience of my life. My brain, nothing. Also me, absolutely bowels myself at Olive Garden. My brain. Oh, a core memory. No, makes sense. That was more horrifying. So your brain's gonna wanna remember that to make sure it can never accidentally come across that experience again. It's why you're more likely to remember terrible and depressing experiences than the positive ones. Basically, your trauma is a survival mechanism. Yay. Speed limit, 14-ish around there miles per hour. iPhone is disabled. Try again in 19 years, 7 months, 1 week, 1 day, 15 hours, 30 minutes. Wow, damn, the newest iPhone update's pretty intense. Spice level warning, level 0 to 5. We will no longer issue refunds when you order your food spicy and can't handle it. Oh, damn. There should be a word that describes that horrible feeling you get when you realize halfway through telling a story that it's not as funny as you thought it was, but it's too late to back out. So you just finish the story and everyone listening does that awkward, polite laugh and then it gets quiet. So you burn your house down, fake your death, move to Chile and start a new life as a loner fisherman. Active tense. Jenny ate all the chocolate chip cookies. Okay. The murderer murdered Sam. Miss, why'd you put my name there? M will murder Sam tomorrow. Okay, miss, it's a bit, M is strangling Sam right now. M was stalking Sam.
Out my window!
M should kill Sam. M has envied Sam since he was a kid. The police had followed M for many years. It is so strange to me when people tell me they never had an ancient Egyptian phase. Like, what did you even do during your childhood? This is oddly specific. And over 3,000 people relate? Hello, I am one of them. To be fair, I blame Yu-Gi-Oh! That Egyptology book was too golden and shiny to resist. Children collectively. Crown Brain says shiny and full of secrets. Gotta know. Dudes be like, Vegas ain't ready for us. Like Vegas ain't ever seen 4 dudes in a Macy's button-down splitter room and golden nuggets and wait 3 hours in the club line just to drink a Bud Light, post a story, and then lose $35 on a blackjack table on the way back to the room. Oh, not me though. I'm spending 25. Extra 10's going to the premium bud. Do you ever watch a film to the end of the credits, pick a name, and think, hey, Clint Younggreen, assistant bear trainer number 3. I bet you thought nobody would see you down here. Nice job, pal.
They're thinking of me.
If I was an Italian plumber whose girlfriend was constantly being imprisoned in castles by an evil fire-breathing lizard, I would simply not take part in recreational go-kart races with aforementioned lizard. Well, clearly that says more about your problematic, insecure, immature mindset. Honestly, you're gatekeeping yourself from future friendships and positive, meaningful, rebuilt relationships. She is not your girl. She is her own woman. The kidnapping issue is between her and him. It's got nothing to do with you. Gosh, you're so self-centered. 7 things every kid needs to hear. 1. I love you. 2. I'm proud of you. 3. I'm sorry. 4. I forgive you. 5. I'm listening. 6. Communism has failed every time it was tried. 7. You've got what it takes. Gonna start a sperm donor agency called Get a Load of This Guy. My landlord wants to kick my kids to the curb. Why? Because that's what landlords do. They don't care about your rights. They don't care that your kids are literally every raccoon in the park you could lure back to your studio apartment with uncooked sausage meat. They don't care. How many communions do you have to do before you've eaten a whole Jesus? Okay, despite the disgust from others posting, I really was interested to know and gave it a lot of thought. I even did the math. If my math is correct, that is. We are assuming that we are dealing with a Jesus who is about 5'10" and let's say 140 pounds bone dry. If each Jesus weighs approximately 0.25 grams, as indicated online, you would have to eat roughly 254,011 of them to eat an entire 140-pound full-grown Jesuit. Now, that started to make me think, what about the blood? Ah yes, that delicious blood should be accounted for. Most humans are roughly 60% water, so 60% of 140 is 84 pounds. Taken away from the cracker count could make the new total 101,604. Now, since wine has a higher gravity level, we will have to go with 1.5 kilograms per liter. To drink 84 pounds, you would need to drink about 51 bottles of wine at 750 mils a bottle. So, in summation, you need to eat roughly 101,604 croutons of Christ, along with roughly 51 bottles, give or take a bottle, of sweet, sweet blood wine to successfully consume one full-grown adult Jesus. And this, children, is why you need to learn trigonometry in school. We didn't have play dates when I was a kid. Our parents kicked us out until the streetlights came on, and the weakest among us ended up on an unsolved mysteries like Mother Nature intended. Yeah, this has heavy me and my friends tripping on acid and stabbing a cinnamon roll with a katana in the living room vibes for me. No, I can't understand that vibe. No, friend. How could I incorporate cooking meth onto my resume? Allow me. I oversaw the manufacturing and distribution of renewable energy in low-income urban living environments, contributing greatly to the growth of local dental services and the recycling of various scrap metal. Who the frick is Ozzy Osbourne? This is why I love Post Malone for shining light on unknown artists. Ozzy Osbourne was snorting lines of ants with Motley Crue before your father was having wet dreams about your mother. You know, sometimes I wonder if people just purposely make these clueless posts just to trigger the hardcore fans of old artists.
The following are banned in voice chat: giving birth, doing drugs, denying that you are on copious amounts of drugs even though it's obvious that you are on copious amounts of drugs, taking a shit without turning off your mic and camera, showing unsolicited car radio pictures, and explaining to people where to buy drugs. She did what? You're gonna have to be a bit more specific. Honestly, who the hell actually likes sparkling water? That tastes like TV static. It does. However, when you're trying to wean off soda, like I did, it's so helpful to get that bubbly bullshit. But knowing you're really just drinking water and not something with aspartame or sucralose or, regular old fructose corn syrup, well, at least here in the US anyway. I'm a little upset I've never been given a sticker after sex. Did you do a good job? Ravens are right. Life is about collecting shiny trinkets and bringing bad omens and pestering men until they descend into madness. That kind of feels like my dream job, but I've never been offered it once in my life. Oh well. Yeah, I'm on board with this one. Money pulled out of anywhere other than your purse, pocket, or wallet will not be accepted. For example, bra, socks, underpants, etc. Yeah, don't give people your sweaty, nasty fucking money. I'm so happy that people are finally drawing that line. I mean, they probably have been for a really long time, but I'm happy they're still doing it, The wildest party of all time got canceled. A cocaine haul. So large that it could supply every man, woman, and child in Britain twice has been seized in Southampton. Wait just a minute. Supplied with how much? And also, wasn't this like Miriam Margolyes' rental home or something that this happened in? Or am I thinking of a different story entirely? Passenger loading zone, 7:30 a.m. to 8:30 a.m., 2:15 p.m. to 3:13 p.m. Yeah, that one's a little bit weird. I can't really follow you into that dark tunnel. I wish babies can only explode on a Tuesday when holding a hot dog. Are you trying to be very random funny? Only the US forces you to give birth, while forcing you to pay tens of thousands of dollars to give birth, while not letting you have time off to give birth. Oh man, we could talk about this for miles and miles down the road. TSA penalty. No threats, no verbal abuse, no physical violence of any kind. If you threaten, endanger, or harm transportation security officers during screening, TSA will pursue criminal penalties and fines up to $13,910. Thank you for your cooperation. That is a very, very specific fine. And I totally understand the rules here. Don't be an absolute... Don't fucking touch me or punch me, push me, whatever. How much Robux could I buy with... Well, that sure is... a lot of money you have. Why is this one feels lame. Come on. From Trivia Murder Party 2 in the Quiplash minigame on the Jackbox Party Pack 6. The best name for a 1970s TV show about a curmudgeonly detective who solves crimes with help from a wisecracking teenage werewolf. Oh, whatever, it might be specific, but you'd watch it. Teen Wolf, Mystery Files. The tagline is something like, sniffing out a crime, or this dog has its day. The show was poorly received by critics, but it's such an audience hit it runs for 8 seasons. Is that what you were about to say? PS1 games are wild. Aline Cedrak, or Kedrak, I don't know, 27 years old. Ethnology professor at the Boston University. Characteristic, father unknown.
What game is this for? Oh, it's Alone in the Dark! Okay, cool. Okay, gotcha. Oh man, I am excited for that remake. I'm so excited. Why wouldn't there be a bathroom on board? Captain Cocktail's public and private cruises, the party boat with a bathroom on board? I feel like party boats generally do have that, right? If you pulled into your driveway, got out of the truck and went inside, after doing that, a cop turns his lights on, pulls into your driveway, and tries to pull you over for X, would he have any grounds? Would I be evading if I didn't answer the door? That is an interesting question. I mean, it's weirdly written, but what you're trying to ask is, if you already made it home, pulled into your driveway, and walked inside, and then a police officer tried to pull you over, would they be able to do anything? I'm sure they could come up with something. They like to. If you walk in a circle with a radius of about 6 feet for over an hour, the radius of your circle will naturally decrease. And if you then try to walk in a straight line, you'll just walk in a circle. It'll take a significant amount of effort to not walk on a curve, and it will feel very weird. Thank you for letting me know, because now I'm not going to do this. Is this true? It would only take an hour to find out. Tell me how it goes. Not just chocolate brown, chocolate raisin brown. That is a very specific color. Khaki green animal? Monochrome print. Weird. Oddly specific engine name, especially considering its actual size is 581cc. Rotax 583 Rave. R-A-B-E. Now that you're not dying, pay me. What? One very annoying thing about working in an American ER is how often I go see my patient and registration/billing are in the middle of pestering them about their insurance card or putting a credit card down. Yeah, they walk into my hospital room, I'm gonna tell them to f*** off. This is getting ridiculous. No, this is getting out of hand. I mean, it already is out of hand and has been since probably well before I was born, but nah, this is ridiculous. Not that I would expect anyone to remember. I can't remember how to write 1, 1000, 51, 6, and 500 in Roman numerals. I thought 50 was L. Wasn't it an L? Oh, it's a joke. I'm livid. Gotcha. Okay, I was kind of thinking that's what they were setting it up for. It's what it felt like. It was too specific to be true. Not true. What's the word? Doesn't matter. Some people have resting face. Adam Driver has resting professor of theology listening to his students present a report on religious symbolism in medieval art that they copied off of Wikipedia page. I guess I don't see it, but clearly you do. Circuit gays be like, Miami's not ready for us. As if we've never seen a group of 4 spray-tanned Planet Fitness Black Card members step off of their Spirit Airlines flight with no hotel reservation and spend $85 on an Uber X plus $150 on entry to Thirst Bottoms for Days featuring DJ shirtless with sunglasses plus $70 on 4 Gatorades only to vomit behind a speaker for 2 hours, stand in line for a back alley porta potty fighting over who's taking home the TikTok famous self-proclaimed fitness model to do an OnlyFans collab in their 2-queen bedroom they booked 20 minutes ago on Hotels Tonight, but really just end up walking to Denny's in a K-hole at 8 a.m. on a Monday morning. What the hell are you talking about? How I look in the mirror? How I look in photos taken immediately after? Well, quit pressing your face up against the window. What do you expect? It is New Hampshire, after all. Imagine if you combined rural Idaho with the most racist parts of Boston and then sprinkle in about 10,000 rich weirdo libertarian uncles who inexplicitly became a multimillionaire starting businesses that do things like selling Ford all their windshield wipers or manufacture every single bollard on the eastern seaboard. That's basically New Hampshire. So rural Idaho, but you have to sprinkle in racist? I don't think Idaho needs specific one sprinkled in. They got plenty of their own. My niece turned 3 today. She asked for a Lion King cake, but specifically the moment where Mufasa dies because everyone will be too sad to eat the cake and it'll all be for me. Yeah, I'm gonna eat that cake. Sex is cool, but have you ever had someone give you so much emotional safety that you were able to break down and process trauma right in front of them without the fear of being judged or ridiculed? Do not eat this with guilt. This is what we have eaten as a species for millions of years. Not rice, not bread, not salad, and most of all not Captain Crunch? You didn't pay attention in history class, did you? You didn't. You know what? I do love this a lot, because it's funny as hell, first of all. And if you weren't kidding and you were serious, it's really funny that you're saying that we have not been eating rice and bread and, sure, maybe not salad in the traditional sense, but vegetables in a f***ing bowl or something? Pretty sure we've been eating that since the beginning of time. My biological clock is ticking. If I don't impregnate a French redhead with short hair and black lipstick while on a secret mission for the CIA soon, then I am going to die. Okay. Wow, that's the cleanest ear canal I've ever seen. The eardrum reminds me of a slipper limpet seashell? Okay, I'm not looking that up. Misogyny check. Let your phone complete the sentence. Women are so cute. Women are not a frog. Okay, look, I don't know how long ago this was done, but I will give it a try for you right now. All right, let's see. Women aren't the problem. Okay, there it is, folks. My preferred brightness setting is usually 87 on all devices. Well, I mean, you do you. I finally, within the last year, finally started letting the phones do their auto brightness, and honestly, doesn't kill battery, doesn't affect anything. I'm just gonna let it do its thing and live my life. Ted Cruz looks like he got fired from the bowling alley for the shoes. That's definitely not a real picture of him though, but I can see what you're talking about. That's not, right? It's not, is it? Right? Can't wait to get out into those shark-infested waters. Some diver who is in a no-win situation. Gotcha. Better than drowning, or getting crushed by water pressure, or having to listen to Suzanne complain one more time about the goddamned water pressure in the shower. Very particular max size limitations. Let's see, 2160, but 20,000. That's a lot. What? The Wordmaster Scrabble app provides definitions of a word that's played. I found this word to be quite specific. Fawn? A warm, dry wind that blows down the northern slopes of the Alps. That feels like a word that has never been used ever. In any language, I'm here to share a secret of how I became rich. Wait, Baba Ogundele helped me. Call him. I saw his on social media. I was so afraid to call him, but I took the risk to call and explain to him about my financial problems. He told me to add him on WhatsApp with his number. In just 2 hours, I was so surprised, sorry. Now I'm rich, have houses, cars, filling station, travel to any country Okay, that's an interesting bot scam. That's cool. Licorice candy smells like death. Have you tried Death by Blackbird yet? It's my favorite. Smells like a funeral in the rain with a freshly digged grave soil and a wet headstone, while a child is eating licorice candy. I can see the whole scene in my head. Maybe you should write that down. Build a story based off of this. Wow, that text is almost completely illegible. It's not hard to throw a stroke on something, okay? Me waiting for my 7 Bernese mountain dogs who I've raised as my sons to come of age so I can legally bequeath them the entirety of my Fortune 500 company. Redditors who have an unusual affinity for collecting discarded chewing gum from public spaces, what drives your passion? And what's the most bizarre piece in your eclectic gum collection? I'm sorry, but what the hell did you just ask? Can security services in dictatorial countries identify people from their voices when they make audio interventions in cyberspace with famous opponents of the regime residing outside the country? How should I know? This is how I imagine philosophy and psychology majors speak to each other. Oh my god. Whew, that's a lot of text. Let's see. This is where I hint that I care for you, but I can't say it outright, for I am paralyzed by my aching loneliness, too afraid to be vulnerable, which ironically would heal the very same loneliness that haunts me. I will wait for your inevitably cold reply, feeling unheard, despite it being at least partly my fault for making an all too underhanded attempt at voicing my feelings. At least a self-fulfilling prophecy is dependable. Indeed, I reply coldly, if at all, despite feeling the very same loneliness. I cannot understand your sorrows, nor you mine. How was I to know the context behind your casual text? How could I gather how much you care for me when I have become so conditioned to apathy that any semblance of hope can potentially crush me if I'm wrong? Like a simple organism stirs at warmth, I see scraps of affection and yet mistrust it when I have it. Tell me, how many lonely men and women walk around the world grasping for each other in the dark, never making contact? Want to come over? Going to the doctor for contraception starter pack. A bunch of old people in the waiting room, Googling aggressively the night before so you don't need to spend much time there. The pills will all give you cringe side effects anyway, so you gotta just deal/pick the least bad one. That one nice pharmacist who just gives you the product or asks if you want the cheaper version of it. Everyone knows. Your doctor is always an old dude who doesn't understand your issue. This society will have you angrier at an unhoused person stealing $5 to eat than at a guy in a suit stealing $5 million to buy a third house. PhD in medieval stone adhesives. Both odd and extremely specific. That's interesting. Very exciting PhD position available at Archaeologisk Museum. Oh, I see. Sticking Stones. Aims to explore the extent of the use of wood tar adhesives in medieval stone construction. Man, what kind of job security would you have with a PhD that hyper-specific? This very unique power of Miss Swift I found in the facepalm section. Swifties, I don't want to break your cute hearts, but your idol is a transgender reptilian demon witch. Taylor Swift is not what you think. She clones many bodies and reincarnate into them. She puts black magic in her music and keeps you all in a spell worshipping her. Wake up. Nah. Meat Mountain sandwich at Arby's. Oh, it's so gross. Arby's is great when you want to eat something that gives you the same feeling as hurriedly closing the tabs because you're ashamed at what you just nutted to. Arby's, it's closest. When moving back in with your parents isn't an option, you really start to recognize how little help there is and how little it takes to end up with nothing. I'm not sure why this is here because it doesn't feel like a hyper-specific or oddly specific thing. This doesn't really fit the vibe, but they are correct. When you do not have the option to go home, you'd be surprised just how fast your only other option is work more or be homeless. Damn, you really go from slapping a person's naked butt cheek to never talking to them again. That happens. If your boss tells you your team at work is like family, that means you can scream, "You're not my real mom," and storm out every time they ask you to do anything. Hey, they said like family. I wish that every male's left testicle is immediately and safely teleported to the core of Uranus. The job I was about to apply for. Job description. If you like to hold a grudge and be an unreal person, do not apply. We are grown at Edible and expect grown people to apply. If you are emotional and find your feelings hurt easily, or you take everything personal, or overthink everything, we ask that you do not apply. Oh, sorry, definitely do not apply. Why does it sound like you're a nasty, disgusting place to work at? And no one should give you the time of day. Neurodivergent kids listening to music and imagining complex animations with characters from their hyperfixations? Same. Yeah, I don't want kids, but if I did, I would endeavor to be this kind of mom. The kind that's like, look, I did stupid crap as a kid. I know you're going to do stupid crap as a kid. I'll try to help you be smart about the stupid crap you do so you're not staggering around a Kinko's copies at midnight with your friends looking for condoms because you're high as hell and thinking you're at a Walgreens. And that you're gonna make it to Bethany's party before her parents get home from Boston. I can dig it. Guy with a Neuralink cut me off in traffic, so I took out my Flipper Zero and made him gender dysphoric. This reminds me of my uncle's cousin's sister's tragic memoir. That was a mouthful. I feel like I've been there before. Where is that? Real, it looks like my half-brother's dad's airplane hangar before it was hit by the tornado. All right, keep honking. I'm listening to Alice Coltrane's 1971 meteoric sensation, Universal Consciousness. Me and my bestie laughing because the kidnapper accidentally said scangle instead of strangle, so we keep saying, please don't scangle us every time he tries to talk. People that don't like techno just plain and simply can't dance or bang a female right. Okay. They have no groove in their body. They look or rigid and scared to dance at social events with their little pecker. All right, man. I bet her farts sound like a tuba that's been completely filled with oatmeal. I don't like the internet anymore. Do you guys? Because I don't.
Oh, what's my battery percentage at? It's at, pi.
Look at this cat.
Dude looks classy.
Yeah, like he just ate calamari and called the waiter inadequate and tasteless as he sips on red wine.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you have a rough day at work again?
Hospitality's hard, dude.
Everyone is doing a great job.
Yeah!
Except Cody.
Ah!
Why's this dude look like he should be 68, retired from the post office, and enjoying his second daughter's wedding?
Hey, he's a futurist.
He's manifesting the lifestyle and career of a man that he plans to be. Though, unlike an astrologist, he's actually achieved it. Does anyone else feel like they are a lazy perfectionist with ADHD and chronic fatigue who is pretty chill besides the occasional panic attack and loves their friends but hates people? It's like the double-edged sword of being an intelligent species. We're also extremely complicated that not even ourselves understand ourselves. Fact of the day. It's apparently not okay to raise 16,1200 seagulls from birth, train them every day in the art of aerial warfare, and then unleash them upon a medium-sized township. Well, I mean, a lot of things aren't okay in warfare, but it's only not okay if there's survivors to tell the tale.
I don't need no Geneva Convention. I have 16,000 seagulls.
I am the convention!
Oh, my dream. $1 million Minecraft house.
Not sure I can trust no one will accidentally drive onto the roof, though.
Yeah, looks great, until you pull your car too far forward and it falls through your roof and lands on your family while they're eating their frosted flakes. Then for the rest of your life, you won't be able to eat frosted flakes without crying.
Who are you, and why are you trying to ruin frosted flakes for everyone?
The hotel staff cannot guarantee additional requests. If it's not too much trouble, could you build a fort out of pillows? It's definitely not for a 28-year-old male. Oh, and they did it! Okay, that's amazing. Please, they need to be known.
Give them the deserved fame!
DAY, guess who? Replace the pictures with your own family. Just imagine the questions. Did this person get drunk off of box wine one year and flip over the turkey pan with the turkey still inside it and then pass out with their underwear pulled down under their Christmas tree? Yes.
It's Grandma.
Selling a piano, free, not haunted, pick up only, $1, free piano, you pick it up, I'm not touching it. Leicester circa 1966, Lutz area, not possessed or haunted in any way, tuned less than 24 months ago, played by human hands, around 6 minutes since, not a player piano, does not play by itself, definitely not. It comes with bench, has wheels, please take this out of my... You will die in 30 minutes. What do you do? Eat all of the mega laxatives in the medicine cabinet, drink a half gallon of milk, eat the rest of the ricotta cheese in the fridge, get in my car, drive to my former employer, bum rush the lobby, spin in circles, knocking everything over, guzzle some hydrogen peroxide, and then toss myself at my old boss's desk in the last 5 seconds of consciousness. Good luck removing those stains. And if I don't die, new Friday tradition! Jesus freaking Christ, what did they do to you? Hey guys, say I hypothetically worked at a big tech company and hypothetically spilled some Diet Ginger Ale on the big servers in the back room, and now a lot of stuff is going wrong. What should I hypothetically do? Do I face the music or should I book an Uber and run away? Middle-aged happiness is discovering that the next load of laundry to fold is just 8 bath towels and not 46 pieces of small human clothes. Middle-aged happiness, yes. Infertile happiness, also yes. American badges look like they're about to drag you into a back alley and pull a shiv on you to demand money for their habit. Based on that photo, yes, accurate.
Meanwhile, European badges look like they're about to invite you over for a cup of tea and some custard creams at their little cottage in the countryside.
Why is it always a meme that exposes me to knowledge I can't believe I wasn't aware of? I know both these things are badges, yet I'm still somewhat amazed that they're badges. Modern songs are so Oddly's personal ocean. Like song lyrics used to be, I love you, or I'm sad. And now they're all, we first met at an abandoned subway station that I got lost in on my way home from the club. We had it on for 3 consecutive days, but then your great aunt died and you've never been the same since. Now I have no one to have kinky times with, so I cope by snorting lots of pain off my mother's treasured mirror she gave me when she broke it to me that I wasn't inbred. Guess what, fool? No one can relate to that.
Yeah, speak for yourself.
Well, in 1970, Black Sabbath made a song about a guy that travels into the future and sees the end of the world, gets turned into steel by a magnetic storm on his way back, unable to warn people of the impending apocalypse. When people continue to mock his attempts to communicate in order to save them, he becomes so angry that he goes on a rampage of revenge, causing the apocalypse that he foresaw. Okay, so I made a comment in a terrible Facebook memes video, commenting on how music in the past isn't any more deep and meaningful than today's music. I would like to publicly say that I have been stood corrected. I like Chicago because every few blocks there's a hot dog stand that's been open since 1893 World Fair, and the original owner, a surly Polish immigrant, is somehow still alive and cooking, but also really mad at you specifically. It's just a cool vibe for a city to have.
Yeah, there's a reason why cloning experiments stopped after that year.
What is perfectly legal, but creepy as hell? Staring into someone's window from the street to watch Jeopardy on their TV because your freaking mom canceled cable when she found your vape. Many people have been using quarantine as a time to perfect their bread or coffee making skills, but I, personally, have taken this as an opportunity to make increasingly unsettling eggs.
What? I mean... At some point, you just have to acknowledge this as an art form. I mean, what is that? What is that? What eggs are you obtaining these things from? I'm gonna call Peter on your farm. There's some sketchy stuff going on with your genetic splicing, where it is illegal to play chess while having the kinky times. Estonia. And if we don't stop them now, this thing could spread to the world. Ah, it's worse than communism. But seriously, why chess first, then the adult stuff? Like, I'd understand getting it on while playing chess, especially if you're in one of those public chess places. I imagine some politician's evening was rudely interrupted when his hooker wanted to stop for a moment to play chess with the bodyguard. Amazon customer review. This eyeliner won't run around like your man does. I bought this eyeliner, and the first day I wore it, I found out my boyfriend of 5 years was cheating on me. And I cried and cried and cried and went to the bathroom to make sure that my makeup streaks were wiped off my face, but it was still completely perfect. Through all the crying, it stayed in place. So thank you for making an eyeliner that's more trustworthy than a man. My ambition in life is to go on stage as an MC, ask an audience, "Are you guys excited?" And then when they respond, say, "Come on, you can do better than that. Are you excited?" And watch the emptiness in their eyes as they fake energy for no freaking reason. And then I want to keep asking them to do better till security is forced to escort me off stage. Look, as someone who's done emceeing on the side, humans are only willing to give so much enthusiasm to a stranger screaming at them. Name, Davy. General age, adult. Gender, male. Coat length, short. Color, brown tabby. Pattern, non-existent apparently. Up to date, yes, declawed, no more information. Davy is an adult. Also a neutered male cat, probably born sometime between 2016 and 2018. Look at him. He's a perfect Davy. The kind of Davy who's quiet, calm, and sometimes overlooked, but is the best neighbor on the block. Davy will snow blow your drive before you come home from a winter vacation, so you can drive right into your garage. Davy will keep an eye on your house every day when you take the kids to California for a week. He'll shop vac your carpets and set up fans when the sump pump quits and your basement floods a little bit. 2 days before you are due to fly home. He'll call your shared insurance guy, take pictures, get everything cleaned up, and not tell you until you get home, because he doesn't want to ruin your trip. He always has an extra beer in the fridge for a buddy and tells the best fishing stories. Adopt Davy! He's too good for this world. If you ask a coworker, "How are you?" and they say, "Well, I'm here," that loosely translates to, "I need you to push me off the roof. We can make it look like an accident. If I die, I'm finally free. If I live, we'll sue the place and split the money. Please, for the love of God, help me." What crimes are you okay with people committing? Dumpster diving? Feeding the homeless? Leaving food and water for immigrants? Trespassing through privately owned woods to gain access to a river for tubing because the previously awesome public launch spot got purchased by a tubing company that won't let people access the river without paying them a decent chunk of money even though you aren't renting tubes from them? Me after buying food for my family without them knowing it was paid by drawing gay muscular furry poon and femboy dragon lewds with large... That's 300 extra bucks a month. I ain't mad. This is literally and legally dirty money.
Being an adult means not having your bed pushed up against a corner. That is literally the only criteria. Yeah, I can't remember the last time my bed was in a corner. Humanity is moving forward. British man creates app that filters out all Kardashian news. Careful, he's a hero. God damn, what year is it? Why are we still even referencing them? It has come to my attention that some of you don't know my English teacher in high school was my own father, or didn't know rather. On the first day of classes, he said, "I want you all to know I'm only sleeping with one of your mothers." This is my villain origin story, and also really, really weird. That's just so weird. If true, I don't fully believe you, but wow. I went to the bar in my scrubs last night, and this dude paid for my tab because I thought I was a nurse during a pandemic. Sir, I laser booty holes for a living. And we thank you for your service. What's the problem? The fact that homeowners associations exist is wild to me. You buy an entire house and some lady a couple doors down can tell you that you're not allowed to display your antique frog statuette. And you have to pay a fine? Insane. Oh, dude, it gets a lot worse than that. They can steal your goddamn house from you depending on how bad the homeowners association is. They can also get you arrested. I often daydream about winning the Powerball and buying the licensing rights to Friends, just to edit out the laugh tracks, then releasing it back to the public for free so everyone can finally understand how unfunny that show is. You know, it's so funny whenever people lose their minds about Friends not being funny. Because yeah, comedy's subjective, all of art is, but Friends is funny. It's one of the most popular shows ever created for a reason. And it's not because of David Schwimmer, despite, you know, what the world will tell you. It's great, pick on Friends, but none of the other ones, right? It bugs the shit out of me, man. It's so weird. It's so weird, dude. Yes, your opinion is super good. You don't like Friends. Congrats. I'm going to get you a trophy. Therapist. Have you ever had a job? Me. I once worked at a zoo. Great. And what did you take from that? Definitely not a penguin. What? They stole a penguin, guys. People who are allergic to peanuts. I can't. It'll kill me. People who are allergic to gluten. I can't. It'll wreck my body. People who are lactose intolerant. Humans cannot achieve immortality anyway. And life not lived to the fullest is no life at all. Hand me a gallon of milk. No. Not milk. It's all about the cheese, all right? Give me the cheese. Gonna be honest, this new widget design looks like an app for a membership only human trafficking gentlemen's club, headquartered in Budapest. This happened that long ago already? I mean, not like it's 2018. It just feels like forever ago that dipshit destroyed some of the best branding ever created. Some people have resting bitch face. Adam Driver has resting professor of theology, listening to his students present a report on religious symbolism in medieval art that they copied off of Wikipedia face. Okay, sure. I'm glad you see that, I guess. Burglar, points gun at me. All right, buddy, just show me where your valuables are and I won't hurt you. Me? Sure thing, dude. Alexa, call the police! Shuffling songs by The Police. Roxanne plays as I get shot 16 times. Damn, they waited that long to just kill you? At some point, every straight man has to choose between making fun of astrology or getting laid. Sure, man. Data gamer guy. He ain't cheating or whining. He's sitting his ass on the couch being a virtual cowboy and riding around on a horse named John Bon Pony. Ooh, that's a good name. I'm gonna steal that. If Thanos' snap, or Thanos' snap, killed 50% of all life, that means that the survivors would have lost 50% of their gut biomes in an instant and spent the next few months power blasting their bathrooms with diarrhea. In this essay, I will, never thought about it that way, did ya? I'll never understand people who think hockey is boring. There's these 6'5" giants on knife shoes moving around at 70 miles per hour. They're equipped with a giant weapon, and sometimes they punch each other. How is that boring? Yeah, I gotta say, if you don't like hockey, or at least find it mildly entertaining, but you watch football, or American football, for that matter, come on! Last night, Corona led me down a YouTube rabbit hole, and I ended up watching a video of an Australian cheesemaker making Parmesan. He starts his videos by saying, "G'day, kid Neds," and all the comments are Italians telling him to go himself. Gen Z will drink one medium caramel latte, not eat a single thing till 4 p.m., verbally abuse a racist, crack a joke about their mental health, and pick up a tear gas canister with their bare hands, but get nervous when they have to call to make a doctor's appointment. Dude, calling people sucks, okay? I'm not Gen Z necessarily, but still. Girls are hornier than boys. Have you ever seen a heterosexual couple at a party? And the girl's like, "Babe, please, it's 1 a.m. Can we go home and bone?" And the guy's like, "1 sec, babe. Me and the boys are arguing over our rankings of all the Coen brothers movies." So he's gay? I bet if they made Ratatouille 2, it would have been like Ratatouille International, and they would have entered a cookery contest and met chefs from around the world. But they all had different rats in their hats, like a sushi rat and a Guy Fieri rat and a Germany rat called Ratwurst, or Rotwurst. You know what? You might have been onto something there. 2009, global recession. 2022, global recession. If I had a nickel for every time an Avatar movie came out, Modern Warfare 2 came out, and a global recession happened, I'd have 2 nickels. Which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice. I guess? Anyway, my coworker said Billie Eilish makes music for girls who call themselves psycho, but are too afraid to ask for extra ketchup in a restaurant. I'm not like the other girls. Renting and returning 10 books a day from my local library while subtly increasing the size of my cranium with latex and makeup until they say something. That does make me curious. How long would it actually be before they mentioned a damn thing? Like truly. Parents at restaurant, "It's our son's 7th birthday." Group of 6 Adderall-addicted chain smokers who all have sex with each other and haven't haven't slept in 24 hours, stop rolling silverware and start clapping. Happy birthday! I wish I could Google search my own mind and just type in stuff like, what are my favorite movies? Or what was the name of the place with the really good egg rolls? Back when I was a kid, I didn't need Joe Rogan. Your best friend had a 27-year-old brother who was a loser who would smoke pot in a room with blacklight posters and tell you that the Mayans invented cell phones. Yeah. And he didn't make enough money, unfortunately, so now we've got that dork. It's Catholic canon, and in the Garden of Gethsemane, see an enemy, Jesus Christ saw every sin committed by human beings, which means that he watched a guy blasting rope to Waluigi hentai and still decided to sacrifice himself for humanity. Absolute legend. Oh man, I'm sorry. That's part of the story I don't believe, because truly, if he really saw it all, he'd have killed himself. Yeah, so the Italians sent a Welsh dude to kill snakes in Ireland, and now the cops in America wear Scottish kilts and play Scottish bagpipes in a big parade about alcoholism. Well, I wonder how many of them are actually of Scottish descent at the very least. I'm begging y'all to remember that you're naming people, not babies. A 17-year-old will have that name, a 28-year-old will, a 43-year-old, a 77-year-old grandparent will have that name. Maybe we should rethink choosing Mackenzie Grayson. Yes, I'm shaming. Wanting a less common name is cool, but naming your kid KitchenAid Whiskey Jones is borderline abuse. In instances like that, I wouldn't say borderline. I wouldn't, okay? My name is totally fine in the long run, and yet I was still mercilessly mocked. Up to this point, people still make fun of me in public who, take my order at Taco Bell, and they make a Batman joke or a Winnie the Pooh joke or something like that, all right? That screwed me up enough, okay? I can't even imagine what being named whatever the hell Elon Musk's kid's name is going to... I can't imagine what that's going to do to him, okay? I just can't. It's ridiculous. Quit naming your goddamn children weird, stupid shit. Also, no anime names, bro. Knock it off. My worst nightmare is Spotify randomly throwing out an Ed Sheeran song whilst I'm driving, and then I crash and die, but it keeps playing. So the first responders think I was an Ed Sheeran fan, and they tell my mom, and I end up being cremated to f***ing Shape of You. Your mom would know. She knows just fine, right? She also knows that you're watching, and that you're gonna absolutely kill her again when she gets to you. American badgers look like they're about to drag you into a back alley and pull a shiv on you to demand money for their habit. European badgers look like they're about to invite you over for a cup of tea and some custard creams at their little cottage in the countryside. Facial hair gone. For now. Let the jokes fly. You look like the black student they put on university brochures to show diversity, You're really right. I don't know why. Some of you were never the third friend that had to walk behind when the sidewalk is too narrow, and it shows. Duh, I was always that friend. This time of year, I grab weeds while I'm walking my dog and weave them into little wreaths that I can leave around the neighborhood. Specifically because there's a woman on Nextdoor who is furious because she thinks there's signs of witchcraft. I encourage you to do the same. Pangolins are cute because they always look like they're about to hesitantly present some bad news to their sovereign lord. Pardon me, sire, my liege, if I may. The prisoners, they've escaped. They do look nervous, don't they? Sex is cool, but have you ever made a joke at a dinner party that bombed and you felt bad, but the host of the party pulled you aside later and said it wasn't your fault the joke bombed, it's just that Kate's brother died in a skiing accident, so skiing jokes are off bounds? Probably could have given the clown a warning. $10 million right now in your hand, but there's a catch. A snail is chasing you for the rest of your life, and if it touches you, you die a terrible death. The snail cannot be killed, it knows your location at all times, its only purpose is to find you. You taking the money? 10 million, that's it? Dude, I have a permanent for the rest of my life assassin. Absolutely not. Make it $1 billion. Make it a cool $1 billion for me, because that way I can hire full-time snail bodyguards. Because you didn't say that I could imprison it. I can't kill it, but I can hire people to shove it in a box and bury it in the bedrock. Okay? Sure, it'll still get out eventually, I'm sure. But, every woman's biggest nightmare is late marriage. Mine's sitting on a toilet and a hidden snake attacks my vagina, but okay. The year is 1888. Me, the first paleontologist to dig up a triceratops skull, whispering softly, "What the fuck? What the fuck? It's crazy that they only figured out tectonic plates in the 60s. A child in the 50s would say, it seems like South America and Africa would fit together. And his mom would go, that's cute, honey. Would you like a cigarette? Me? Hello, I would like some spinach. Just a normal amount for a normal person. Grocery store? Yeah, right. Bet you love spinach, you little spinach freak. Here's a frickin' brick of it. A literal bathtub full. You have 3 days to eat it all before it goes bad. Why isn't it more realistic? Like, why isn't there one with husband and wife. The wife chokes violently on her spit, and the husband gets alarmed, and they spend a good 5 minutes with her coughing and him smacking her on the back, and then the mood is gone, so they go get donuts. Normal people. I met this guy. He was average. Victorian writers. He was, in the way of most men, possessed of a rudimentary intelligence. His countenance ordinary, his bearing mild, with some weakness about the shoulders. His hair, the color of ash. He spoke of the weather. I mean, if you're writing, and I'm reading your book, and I read something like, I met this guy, he was average, you're a terrible, terrible writer. Although, the Victorian writer's prose is quite goddamn purple, I must say. American sports fans, defense, defense! British sports fans, all right, lads, I've just worked up a song to the tune of Debussy's Claire de Lune about an opposing player's drunk driving charge. I'll count us off. Elon Musk is a 50-year-old man with more money than God, and he spends his time spamming 9gag memes on Twitter because he got dumped by a girl that looks like she would shoplift plastic bongs from Spencer's. He has the same origin story as Knuckles the Echidna and refuses to pay taxes, and when he gets called out for it, he'll pull some stunt like, if the government can give me a detailed plan of what they'll use the money for by 420, I'll sell 69 shares of Tesla stock. Like he's the Smosh version of the Joker, and he'll probably get away with taking over Mars because that weird dude you know who hasn't upgraded his personality since 2011 and talks about the Death Star having contractors on it when it blew up like it was a real event will see this and go epic win. Can you do sentences, please? Also, that guy at the end you mentioned, are you just talking about Randall from Clerks? Is that what you're talking about? You weirdo! Honestly, who the hell actually likes sparkling water? That tastes like TV static. I mean, for a very short period of time, it was helping me not drink as much, but it only lasted so long. Community college was so crazy. I was 16 years old, and my partner for public speaking class was a 38-year-old ex-felon, and we were straight up besties. Happy 3-year anniversary to working at a coffee shop at 6 a.m., and my first customer was this lady in a fox costume on her way to surprise chase her daughter, who was afraid of mascots, down the street in Chicago. So you met the coolest person of all time? They offer you $80 an hour to clean the cemetery alone, 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. You taking the job? What? You think I'm gonna refuse that? I'm making sure each one of those tombs are spotless with the finest holy water. Annabelle trying to visit her friend? Aisle 6, row 3, bro. Might get haunted, but I'm leaving each shift in a Bentley with Casper and his homies in the back. Elon Musk's mom looks like she's about to tell you that we all must sacrifice to preserve the Zeppelin that's the last surviving holdout of humanity in the skies above a ravaged Earth. And it's a sad fact that you have become dead weight. I don't know. Maybe a society where billionaires have enough money lying around to start space programs and control communication while people starve and ration their medicine isn't the best system. But they worked so hard. It only takes 3 generations for you to be basically forgotten. Tell that to my great uncle, who's the reason that it's illegal to drive a tractor while drunk in the state of Kansas. Wait, is there a full fun story behind that? Because I'd like to hear it. I feel personally attacked. Happily married to my 5'5" king for 8 years while y'all are getting ghosted by 6'2" alcoholics with 7th grade reading levels, but go off about how you only date tall men, I guess. Yeah, that dude is absolutely living his best life. She is too. But, you know, maybe you shouldn't about height so much. Totally loving Taylor Swift's suit, which is designed to break up her shape against the background, thereby making it difficult for German U-boats to calculate her range, speed, and direction. She is pretty smart. Who knows what this is? A teachable moment for an overly curious child in a car alone. Valorant. I need help. Look, Ida told Alex she won't date anyone below 6 feet. Her ex was 6'1", alright? And you're 6. Next time you're with her, casually mention that you're 6'1". Then I send Nicholas to talk to her. Alright, here we go. The plan is now officially set in motion. We send Nicholas to talk to her. He's 5'11", but he tells her he's 6 foot casually. She gets used to the idea of what 6 foot looks like. Then I send Charles to meet her. She already thinks 5'11" is 6, and she won't be able to differentiate between 11 and 10. Charles tells her he's 6 foot as well. She gets used to 5'10", and then I go in. She can't know much difference between 10 and 9, but I come off as a strong 6, bro. I've talked to Nicholas and Charles already. You just send her a message. What? That is a hell of a plan. I hope it works out for you, my friend. Republicans like to make fun of the fact that I used to be a waitress. But we all know if they ever had to do a double, they'd be the ones found crying in the walk-in fridge halfway through their first shift because someone yelled at them for bringing them seltzer when they wanted sparkling. Yeah, I gotta say, Her job is probably harder than every single seat in Congress. I mean, seriously, everyone's autistic now. Okay. My single 63-year-old neighbor with $1.2 million worth of model trains in his basement, who wrote a 90-page letter to the city about the brightness of streetlights when I was growing up, was just a regular guy then. That sounds pretty normal to me. I refuse to believe men being unable to find the clitoris is actually a thing. You open it up and it's right there, like a video game boss critical hit zone. Huh, never heard it described like that. People from Wyoming are in my mentions insulting me for dissing their state yesterday. And I'm just imagining them furiously riding a horse to a McDonald's in Utah just so they could get the Wi-Fi to tweet at me. I love when customers say, compliments to the chef. Like, sir, we don't have a chef. That's Tyler back there. He's 19, stoned out of his mind, and been cooking for 3 weeks, but I'll let him know. I'm sure that he will appreciate it.